When you're setting up an organisation or registering it with the government, there are a number of different departments you need to deal with. The first one is the Department of Economic Development, which will get you your trade licence. So depending on what your activities are and whether there's any additional regulatory approvals, such as the ADNOC, Supreme Petroleum Council approval, that's all part of the process. Once you set the company up, then you need to register the organisation with the Department of Labour and the Department of Immigration in order to get staff and bring personnel on there. So we have experts in those various departments, and we can assist the foreign companies when they come in. So they'll come into the Chamber of Commerce, perhaps with a delegation or with other representatives or other companies they've come in with, and if they're looking then to set up a new entity or to adjust their current structure in order to approach, let's say, ADNOC, then we can assist them there.
Okay.
I think the big challenge if you look at other countries, particularly European countries in the US, to set a company up is fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
In the UAE, the company's law dictates that you need to take on a local partner, and there's good reason for that. In order for a foreign company to be attached, and that local partner is to perform a government liaison role, but also to be the investor and to be active in the company. Yeah, I think that the government has really pushed hard to make things more transparent. They've improved the labour laws, certainly for workers' rights. There was an issue with the movement of labour, so the ability for someone to take a more senior job at another company. The movement of intellectual capital has really been improved. The government is pushing to take things more online, so everything is going to be quicker and lower cost. And we've seen that within ADNOC. There was a big announcement within ADIPEC this year that they're going to consolidate the registration process within ADNOC across all of the subsidiary companies, which is a big step forward. So for a company, you can't imagine how much paperwork it takes just to register for one subsidiary. So to have that consolidated and online, and to be able to then co-register with all the others is a big step forward, but requires a lot of investment from the government. So the government really realises that they need to simplify things for foreign businesses coming here, and they have really started to do that. In terms of the larger projects, I think that's really maybe what you're talking about, and that's more about communication, I think. And there's been a little bit of a dearth of communication over the last year or so, probably because the government themselves are a little bit unsure as to what they're doing with regard to projects. A lot of people were waiting at ADIPEC for some of these big announcements. Some of them were announced, but others weren't, and people were waiting for things. They're always, hoping that there'll be announcements that come. So I think at a higher level, certainly people wait for those announcements, and it'd be great to just get a little bit of news on what's happening in some of the larger projects. In terms of the day-to-day stuff, I think they're doing a good job. I think the abilities, let's say, and if for an individual to go in with a visa inquiry or to inquire about how I do a license, that kind of thing is very good now. You can do it online, you can go down to the department yourself and interact with a government official. Business groups are very active from Europe and the UK here. They understand that this is a big market for them. Not just oil and gas, but also providing those services around that. So if there's a big oil and gas construction or a project, then all the ancillary services surrounding that, whether that's catering or housing or transport or whatever else that comes with it. So it's I think that's going to continue to happen. I think as if the oil price stays as it is, I think this will be a good region for development.